Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you the Champs News live at 3. We're getting things kicked off with our portal review of Red Bull Rage, but before that, a word from our sponsors.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Nerds Lab. My name is Godflow and I hope everybody is enjoying the first annual Gummy Awards. I'm going to take a second to talk about my own stream, home of the Feud Clinic. We enjoy talking about the what it was, the what it is, and the what it shall be's, all regarding WWE Champion. To get there, twitch.tv/xgodflowx, drop a follow, and also don't forget on Discord, the greatest community in my opinion, the Nerds Lab. Discord.io/nerdslab to get there. Have a good time. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more of anybody's time. We need to get back to the gummies. Thank you.
Thank you, Godflowx, for paying this month's light bills and keeping the news going for one more month. If you're interested in getting your ad on the news, well, message me on Discord. We can work out an extremely overpriced option for you. Anyway, back to the portal review. Red Bull Rage from Repackaged. Where do I start? First off, if you saw the gummies, Red Bull Rage had an idea to do a reward show, and he's like, you should do a reward show. So I took that, stole it, and ran with it. Great idea, Red Bull. Thank you so much for that. That's first. Second, he's on my streams all the time and is more than happy to argue with me about cards, which is quite fun. I like it when people don't just agree with everything I say, so I enjoy that a lot. Third, well, I have some jelly about his roster. I have more jelly about his profile picture. I'm going to mispronounce this. Machu Picchu is on my bucket list of things to see in my life, and here you see a picture of him there. So I hate you a little bit for that, sir. Very awesome. His roster talent is 2.2 million, League 18, 298 superstars. Been playing 1,743 days. Only 150 consecutive. What happened 151 days ago, man? 94.9 total wins all time, and 96.3 in the last 30 days. Very nice. 1,401 battles won last 30 days. It's nice to see that he too embraces the vision that Seth is better than Macho. He has Mherex at 5-star gold, super jelly of this. He will tell everyone not to take Lashley 5-star gold. It's been disappointing for him. I know he's fine with me saying that. If you have questions about Lashley at 5-star gold, though, you'll want to ask him. He can fill you in there. NWO Ted is, I think, vastly underrated. I actually like this pick here. Really curious to see how you like him on your roster, Red Bull. And, of course, Naomi, in my opinion, best female in the game. So can't argue with that. Great top 5, and I love that you will take up guys that you think are going to be good or different or fun. So I love that about your roster building. 31 5 stars, 154 4 stars, 102 3 stars, 12 2 stars, plenty of room to be able to do talent up there. 57 showboats, obviously best class in the game. Red Bull knows what's good. Hall of Fame, he's got 8. Very nice there. Best feud rank 697 in the last 365. 337 faction heals, 250 feud wins. We got some top finishes here. 803 Arcade Bro, Christmas Celebration, Women's Wrath, Powerhouse of Positivity, and This Means War Contest. A lot of recent ones in there, so it looks like you are starting to climb the event ladder. Again, Red Bull, it's always great to have you in the stream. Thank you for the great idea for the gummies, and really enjoyed doing this portal shout out for you. So let's get to the offers. I'm sure a lot of you are today asking, hey, what's going on in the game? That's a great question. It's the last day. Tomorrow the MLC ends, so I can safely assume that means tomorrow we'll get a new MLC. So there's not really going to be any offers to talk about. Let's see if there is a daily claim. There is, so you want to grab that daily claim. But we do have some indicators of what the next MLC is. No blog as of yet. About the time I release this news, I'm sure there will be one. You can see no new blog for the MLC. I believe it will start tomorrow. I think that's a pretty safe assumption that it'll start tomorrow, so I would be ready for that. Nothing new on the Flash market, but you can do your standard reroll. Here's your reminder. Don't forget to get that. It's free. Maybe you'll get something amazing. I did not. Events, I would be surprised if there's much of anything. There isn't. Okay, so let's go over to the game real quick. We're going to look at a couple things and see what's going on. So it's cleanup for the end of the MLC. Make sure that you get all your tours done, you know, buy your stuff from the stores, all of that good stuff. Nothing new in here either, but there is the free daily claim. Get that. What I do want to talk about is making some educated guesses. These are just guesses. The daily login has been Hall of Fame bags. So I think, and last year in January was Hall of Fame. So I think that's a safe assumption that we're going to get Hall of Fame. Could be wrong. Don't kill me if we're not. So that would be my guess for the next MLC. And just kind of off the top of my head, I thought for the news, talk about just some MLC practices. I get asked all the time, how do you max a chase in this? And maybe this isn't the best thing to talk about in a news video, but there's not a lot going on in the game. So some really useful tips. I would break it into a couple categories. First off, the better the faction you're in, the easier it is. If your faction can max all the stuff, that's what you need. So you probably top 30, top 20 faction is about where you need to be to make your MLC life easier. So, you know, sometimes higher even makes a difference. A good faction for sure can make a huge difference. So when you're chasing, your faction has to max the blitzes, the showdowns, the feuds, that kind of stuff. That just makes a huge difference. You got to max the faction MLC. There's a lot of points in there. After that, you can really kind of break it down into paid versus free. You don't necessarily need to spend a ton. If you are going to spend, the starter pack is probably a good idea. The 2-star or the 3-star bronze for $20, you can get enough tokens to get Nikki Ash gold. This month, it's been that way for the last few months. I get the $20 starter. Let's take a look at my Nikki Ash and see how many tokens I have left over. Often, it's really hard to get enough tokens if you don't do the starter. But I have 820 extra. That would have been enough this month, but I did max every coin and TP event. And I have a good faction, typically top 10. So keep that in mind. This month, it still would have been possible to get her to 4-star gold. The best way now really is to focus on the free card, because there is the competition for leveling her up, which is gone now. But if you max it, there's 6,000 points in the final milestone for the MLC, 5,000 before that, and I think even 5,000 the one before that, the milestone. So those milestones are huge. You can see I didn't get over it by too much, only 10,000, so not significantly over it. Also, leveling her gives you more points for the faction. So again, if I was going to spend, I would put $20 towards that, and the first backstage pass of the week, of the month, at $9.99, and double up on the spend event on the portal. But if you're just going to spend $20 a month, that's probably your best spend, and it'll help you in the MLC. Now, if you don't spend, that's fine. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. You're going to need to max. If you want to get her gold, you're basically going to need to max everything for the tokens. I think some months there's not enough tokens if you do it completely free. The last time I did it, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, I think I didn't do a starter pack, and I was able to get the starter card to gold. I don't remember which one that was. I do remember I decided to take one off the starter to see if I could, but the blitzes sucked. I don't have the time for that. So you really want to focus on that starting character. So plan on using resources to level them up to 4-star gold. That's a huge part. Being in a good faction is a huge part. The rest of it, if you look at my MLC, I didn't buy the backstage pass 1 week. I did the rest. I cleared it by 66,000 to spare. I would not have needed any of the backstage passes for those points. so I wouldn't have had to spend there. So none of the points that I have were needed from spending as far as the MLC goes. So it is maxable without spending, but you do have to be in a good faction. And I did, like I said, max every coin and TP. I don't think you always need to. In particular, the TP this month, the last milestone was really bad. It was 100,000 plus points difference for almost the exact point MLC total as you got in the milestone before. So basically, you were using the same amount of TP to get like double probably the MLC points before that point, maybe even triple. I didn't do the math exactly, but the last milestone, if I was short TP, I would avoid the last milestone on that. As far as the coin events, they're all the same now, 15 million a pop. And I haven't broken down where, if there's a better spot for those. But if you need to skip TP, make it the last milestone and go all the way to the last milestone for the other ones. As far as starting resources, maybe chat can help me out here, because typically I have way more than enough resources. I would say to be comfortable for an MLC, my guess is maybe around 100 million coin if you want to do most of the coin events at this point, maybe even more because they're higher now. And then TP wise, what do you think, chat? Like 3,000 or 4,000 of each color TP wise in a perfect world. Maybe get by on 2,000 or 3,000. I typically, this is a little bit difficult for me because I've maxed every MLC since Trickster Edge, except for one. So I don't feel like I connect as well with some of you guys on this one. So that advice, little bit maybe not as good coming from me. But I think it's very important to know that you got to do most of the stuff. In particular, the free stuff, you got to get those free milestones. So if you want to max an MLC, did you grind every showdown and feud to get all of those extra points? Those are the big parts for it. Getting all of the free stuff you can if you're not spending. If you don't do all the stuff you can, if you're not in a good faction, sorry, good faction is the wrong term because that's relative. If you're not in a high ranking faction, and if you don't get all of the stuff done, you're going to struggle to max some of these MLCs. This one in particular, I want to say, last I heard, someone finished a couple days ago and they were ranked 2200. So probably close to 3,000 people maxed this MLC. That's a pretty good chunk when you think of it. Overall, that maxed it. So while it was harder than the previous two, there are still a lot of people maxing, so I don't know if the needle will move one way or another. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. But resource-wise, I would say comfortably 7,500 million, 3-4K TP of each color. What I try to do, and I started doing this a while ago, was get through the MLC without spending my prize wall stuff. And then I have that to roll over to the next MLC. That helps me keep it going. So if you can go the whole month without taking from the prize wall and then rate it at the very end. That's going to help resupply you for the next month's MLC. Try not to waste any resources unless you're getting something in return. Make sure there's an event going on that you're getting something. Don't overspend on the coin. Don't overspend on the TP. Things like that. But if you can wait on this prize wall to the very end, that'll help you roll it over to the next one. Someone in chat said they're at 2,500-ish, 2,480 with 512,000 MLC points. So yeah, probably I would bet 2,500 to 3,000 is probably a good number that'll max this, because a good chunk are going to max when the points come in for the faction events at the end. There's a pretty good chunk there too. So those are some things you can do to help, but mostly if you're not gonna spend, you have to grind a lot of the stuff to consider yourself safe, especially if you're gonna miss a coin event here and there and a TP one there. I can confirm I've had people tell me they've maxed the MLC without maxing every coin and TP event. So just be smart, be efficient, get something in return, and really follow it close. Ideally, if it's a 4-week month, you got to make 125,000 points a week. Try and get ahead of that pace if possible, but do what you can do, right? And level up the free card. Don't forget perks. Buying perks give you a ton of points spending turnbuckles. So if it comes down to the end, and you're close, buy your turnbuckles for feud perks, showdown perks. Generally, blitz perks are the cheapest. Tour perks are super useful. You should be getting those to help with your tours anyway, in my opinion. Makes your life easier. Someone else just said 502,000, rank 3,051. So over 3K people maxed it this month. But do those kind of things. Don't forget to get, like I said, getting perks at the end. That can make a big difference. You don't have to spend a max. It does make it easier for sure. But if you don't spend, you do have to grind. There really isn't a huge secret other than that, other than being efficient with your resources, trying to keep the ball rolling, and competing in everything you can and doing everything you can. So I think so. For the backstage pass, the last one I got 12,000 MLC points, which is a huge amount. The other three, I only got 4,000 and 5,000 each time. So maybe 27,000 points out of those four for me. So that's worth knowing. Yes, tour perks are very nice. Someone in chat, Mick, is saying, I bought tour perk ones. Very plush, super posh. He's not wrong. It makes your tours a lot easier. For example, when you look at these tours, we had a long month. It's not the end of the world if you miss them. For example, if you don't have the VIP guys, I don't bother with it because it's not worth the effort. And really, you don't miss that many MLC points. There's only 1,000 right there. Side nodes, a lot of times there's 1,500, so that's 2,500 solo points. That's not the end of the world. Those are faction, and these are just shards. So really, even if you can't do hell mode, you only miss out on 2,500 points for the MLC. I recruited the MLC chase card at 5-star bronze like 4 days or 5 days before I maxed the MLC. So keep that in mind too, guys. I think those are really the big things. I could talk about it more. I'll probably eventually do a video with stats and stuff, but I thought for the news today, since there wasn't a lot going on, I would kind of cover some tips for that. So hopefully it helps you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, looking forward to a new MLC, and good luck out there.